My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thedas long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you. This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
It's beautiful in its way.
I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds. Untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? I call it the cross. As for the rest,
Bueno, continuamos hablando de la historia principal.
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
I won't allow it. I can't.
Indeed, should Corypheus succeed, do not doubt you would be first to feel his holy wrath.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Eluvian before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it. All three of you together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Eluvian.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lord, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True. You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable, but I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the Illuvian he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Bueno, vamos a continuar. Supongo que... Espérate, ¿estoy en este mapa? Bueno, esto es algo totalmente nuevo. Es que hay un mapa parecido a este. Bueno, puede ser caballo. Bueno. Ey, ¿por dónde se va? Definitivamente por acá no es. Me veía bien un caballo, ¿no?
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Come on, let's go plug some assholes.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
Bueno.
They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
They fall! The Red Templars fall!
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch out. They've posted archers on the wall.
Were we just attacked by elves?
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
keeping them at bay. Follow the river to the temple.
There. That must be the Temple of Mithal.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namelana Sabanale.
They still think to fight us, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
Cannot be!
Across the bridge! Now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an eluvian, but he mentioned a well of sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could eluvian translate into well of sorrows?
No. It seems an eluvian is not the prize Corypheus seeks. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So, how many times do we need to kill him? It's a small number, right?
Strike Corypheus down, and he will rise anew.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
It's sealed.
Corypheus's lackeys managed to open it. Perhaps the altar holds a clue. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vie Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shivenen. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Oh, no. This is bad. Rituals are bad. You can't want this.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back. Do not step any place you have stepped before. There can be no vacillation. This is where petitioners walked the path of their gods.
It is where they paid fealty to the gods. I have seen it, in the Fade. Only the reverent were permitted to touch this ground, and only in solemn contemplation.
Hold them off!
Shoot.
Die!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't need to reach the well first. If we stop them...
Reach the well before they do, and their plan is...
And your plan?
Legends walked Thedas once. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so...
Trust me. Your surprise is matched only by my... Mankind blunders through the world. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to...
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. Will you abandon these rituals?
I suggest we step carefully, Inquisitor.
Let me do it.
Templars must have collapsed this. Let's find another way through.
Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Vernavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I do not believe you. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped, even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Morrigan!
Waste of life.
Such a waste. To live through eternity, only to end up like that.
Then perhaps you should have done the rituals, instead of blundering after the Magisters.
How old could they be if they died so stupid? Right?
Hija de puta. ¿Y ahora?
We should search the area.
This place is like a maze.
Elfie elves didn't want normal people near their precious well.
Well of Sorrows.
So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
Fight on! An army of these bastards won't stop us! How will you get to the well, General? Tell...
You tough bastard. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor, you've got a damn long reach. You've hunted us half across Thedas. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
I spoke with your Tranquil, Maddox. He sacrificed himself for your cause.
I told him not to. He died as one of us then. One of the faithful. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, that he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
Once Corypheus is that powerful, you and your soldiers will just slow him down.
You dare say that to my face? After you butchered my men? You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength that Chartry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Power's all well and good, until it's taken away.
What did you do? What did you do? My armor. It's gone. The lyrium. I need it. Kill them all! Take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
He's still breathing.
We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Samson thought the well's knowledge was valuable. It could help stop Corypheus.
I care nothing for your petty
You'll care when Corypheus arrives for the well.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be...
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Vira Balasan paid a great price, bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god?
To you, it shall make no difference.
He was defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
Well, it's done.
That it is. You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone...
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
The Inquisition needs you. Corypheus still endangers us all.
I am forever balked by those who believe they know better than I. Drink if you will, for the sake of us all, but steel your will to do it.
here? Corypheus! A Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. If you can help me vanquish Corypheus, take whatever price you wish.
Maker, please, don't let it end this way.
So, you've got a head full of damp whatever. How's that feel?
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it? The well speaks to you.
It's voices. Whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
I'm doing all I can, Morrigan. It will have to be enough.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon is not an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be...
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
I need to summon Mythal.
Whatever Mythal was, goddess.
There. An altar in the wilderness. That's where I need to go.
I see you are determined. So be it.
Are you certain of this?
We have no choice. If Corypheus comes here now...
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
It's here. I can feel it.
Yes. I feel it as well.
Probably just a pile of rocks.
I'm sure it's here. Just keep an eye out. There it is. This is all that's left of the altar. We few who travel far, call to me and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
Cry havoc in the moonlight. Let the fire of vengeance burn. The cause is clear. A very old invocation. Perfectly translated.
It's beautiful here.
Do you need to do this alone?
Don't go too far. I may need your help if there's trouble.
You will perform this mysterious summoning alone, Inquisitor? Very bold.
Did you come here to help?
I am eager to see what manner of creature responds to your call. Who would not be?
The voices say it will be Mythal.
And what is Mythal, beyond something thousands of years dead and gone?
They say you can remain.
How very hospitable of them.
You know who I am. The last to drink from your well of sorrows. Come to me, Mythal. Whatever you are, whoever remains, I invoke your name and your power.
Mother.
Mother?
Now, isn't this a surprise?
So this is Mythal.
She is a deceiving witch!
Be a good lad and restrain her.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Of course you know. You drank from the well, did you not?
Then you are Mythal?
If that's true, then I thank you for answering my summons.
You see, girl, those are manners, as you require a demonstration.
I do not understand. How can you be Mythal?
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
Then you carry Mythal inside you.
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. What do the voices tell you?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend given name and called a god? Or something more? Truth is not the end, but a beginning. A herald indeed, shouting to the heavens, harbinger of a new age. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
I know the name Flemeth. It belongs to an ancient Ferelden legend. It says long ago you left your husband for a lover. Your husband then tricked you, killed your lover and imprisoned you. Then a spirit came to offer you vengeance. Mythal. That's what you spoke of.
One day someone will summarize the terrible events of your life so quickly. But yes, I was that woman. That is how my tale began.
Flemeth appears in other legends, helping heroes for reasons of her own.
I nudge history when it's required. Other times, a shove is needed.
We summoned you because we need your help.
Against the Magister who grasps beyond his reach. Yes, I know. The voices did not lie, Inquisitor. I can help you. The Altar's Guardian will come. Master the Dragon, and it will be yours to command against Corypheus. Fail and die.
Wait!
I wish to see who drank from the Well of Sorrows. It has been a very long time. Now I have, and he is free to go.
But what of us?
A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never endangered from me.
All things considered, Inquisitor, I now am rather pleased you drank from the well.
That was all rather odd.
Yes, well, Mother has always had that effect on people. Now, I believe, you have a guardian of the altar to master.
Will it come back?
It will come when I summon it. Once. That's enough to fight Corypheus, however. I have my dragon.
So when we find him, we'll fight between two dragons. Mad plan. Love it.